back to another episode of Sports Night. This is Sports Night episode something. 21! That's it. 21, because I never get it right the first time. But welcome in, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday. Thank you to everyone who might be coming over from Disney Dan's show. We're going to have a great one tonight. We're going to have a fun time. For those that don't know, way back in, what was it, Steve? Was it
March
June?
or April? The end of March or beginning of April?
Okay, it was before this. That's right. It was the second day of the season. We had gone out, and Steve and I had made our predictions on the regular season for baseball. We picked our division winners, we picked our playoffs, we picked our LCS, and then we finally picked our World Series. And tonight, we're going to see how we're doing so far. We're going to see how we did in the regular season. And now that the wild card round is over, we'll see how we did there too. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We will do some Disney talk as well. Probably do a good portion of Disney talk probably tonight because we should run through this pretty quick. And there are some things to talk about there as well. But we're going to have a lot of fun. So before we do that, let's do some quick mousekeeping just so we can get caught up and then caught up in the chat. I want to say, of course, thank you to Dean over at The Live Place. TheLivePlace.com. Family-friendly streams throughout the week. Monday through Sunday, if you're looking for a stream, you're going to find it over at TheLivePlace.com. Disney and other topics too. It's not all Disney. Be sure to check him out. He's an incredibly wonderful supporter to this community. Dean does a lot. Let's show him some love back by going over to TheLivePlace.com. And of course, we do have our two partner channels here at Mouse Talk, and one of them is right to my right.
Left. They're right, our left.
Right, they're right, our left. Steve from Steve's World. Steve, welcome in, buddy.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, pal. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
It's another Saturday night of hanging out.
Amen to that. But we're going to talk a little bit in a minute here about, of course, our predictions. But you have your live show on Monday nights, correct?
I do, at 8 o'clock.
Right.
And then
Monday Madness, correct?
Well, I don't know. The name I've kind of ditched the name after 2 episodes just because I didn't realize your show was called Mouse Madness on Tuesday nights, and I didn't want to. It was getting confusing, so it's really just not. It doesn't have a name right now.
It's Mondays with Steve.
Mondays with Steve.
And of course Wednesdays with the This and That crew, and of course that show will rotate each and every week. It's going to be on one of the 4 channels.
Yep.
They always are very good at posting that on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. They're all over, so be sure to check them out there as well. And, of course, he's live with me on Saturday nights with Sports Night. And, of course, the other half of our partner channels is Dan from Disney Dan. And Dan was live a little bit earlier today with Disney Fiasco at 7 o'clock. So be sure to check out Dan as well. We're very lucky to have 2 wonderful partner channels. We really are. And if you are looking to send us any magic mail, we would love to get it. We do have a P.O. box. You can more than welcome to send us something there. We would love to get any postcards or mail from you guys. We absolutely love getting it. We always like to feature it either on a stream or in a vlog. So I think that's everything for now. I don't think I missed anything, Steve. Did I?
I don't think so.
No. Nope. But let's say hi to a few people in the chat. Steve, I'm going to give it to you this week.
Oh, okay.
Don't mind.
All right, we have Kay Atwood, Russ Stapleton, the Shep family. What's up, brother? Phantasmic Chronicles, Melissa Gover, and we have Jelly's Journeys, Noah the Disney World Fan 16, and Sherry Awesome Sunsets Travel. Welcome in, everybody.
Oh, everybody, welcome in. Thank you all for being here. We definitely appreciate it. Ray J's in here. What's up, Ray J? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, we're going to talk about baseball. So, of course, playoffs have started. They kind of been going on all week long, and it's been some pretty good games and then some games that have not been pretty good so far, to be honest with you. One of them is going on right now in New York that's not going very well. It's not a very fun game to watch if you're just looking for some good baseball.
I said it depends on your perspective, I guess.
Well, but if you're looking for a good competitive baseball game, that's not a competitive game.
That's correct.
No, I mean, yeah, you're right. If you're a Yankees fan, obviously you're loving life.
I'm loving it.
So. But you know, if you just look, if you're an outsider like me, a third party who doesn't really care either way, and you're just looking for a good game, that's not the game you want to be watching right now for sure. But back in March, Steve and I, we sat down on one of these streams, which you can find, by the way, if you go back and look at some of our previous live streams, we did a predictions night before the season, or I think it was game 2 of the season. We made our predictions. We did each and every division. We did our winners of our divisions, our wild card teams, our playoffs, our World Series, our MVPs. We did everything. But tonight we're going to focus strictly on what we predicted when it comes to division winners and wild cards, and we'll see how we did. And we'll break it down by each division, and we'll see if our winner was the winner of the division and if our wild card people made it, and we'll see where we are from there. How's that sound, Steve?
Sounds amazing.
Cool. Now, I can tell you right now, Steve, I think has done a lot better than me because I've done really well. I think I did well in the American League, but I didn't do well in the National League at all. Maybe it's because I'm more familiar with the American League. That could be it. Mm-hmm. But I think for me, I'll just say it up front, National League, I suffered a lot more than I did in the American League. But let's get right into it. So let's start. We'll start in the American League since that's where I did better.
All right.
And we'll start in the American League East. Now, I think we both can say the same here. Who was your winner of the American League East?
Oh, the Yankees for sure.
Right, and that was my pick too. I also picked the Yankees. And the Yankees did win the division, correct?
Yes, they did. Yeah, they sure did. And they won 103 games.
Right, and you said how many?
100.
Right, and I said 97.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I was actually shocked because I put 2 teams throughout the baseball playoffs that would have hit 100 wins, and you said none. You didn't think any of them would. There's actually 4.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more. There's a lot better than I thought they would be. So
yeah, I did not think it was going to be that much. And it's funny. You think about the game of baseball. A team wins 103 games. That means they also lost 59 times too.
Yep.
It's so when you think about baseball. I mean, even the great teams lose anywhere between 55 to 65 games. So, they still lose a lot. I mean, they win a ton more, but they lose a lot of games too. It's what makes baseball such, in my opinion, such a great sport. You can lose 55 times and you're still the best team in baseball. Period.
Yep.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah,
it doesn't take much.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, and it doesn't take much to win or lose a game. I mean, how many games are one-run games in baseball?
Well, the Dodgers won 24 times on their last at bat this year, so it doesn't take. It can take anything can happen.
No, yeah, exactly. Yep, I agree 100%. But we both picked the Yankees, and like you said, we both knew they were going to win a lot of games. We really did. But what I expected in the East, for me, I expected a little bit more competition for them. From Boston, who disappointed highly this year. And it cost their general manager his job.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. So, but, the Yankees I'll be honest with you, Steve, I knew they would be good, but I think they're peaking quicker than I expected.
The Yankees?
When I say peak, I mean, when I look at their team, I look at the next core guys. I saw Jeter, Rivera, Bernie Williams, and those guys in 3 years, not this fast. Yep. I just didn't. I didn't think it was gonna like that.
Yeah. Now you're looking at guys like Aaron Judge who are just phenomenally catching right up and right. They're becoming a franchise again a lot quicker than before.
Well, right, yeah, exactly. What I was expecting that next core, which in this it's Sanchez, Aaron Judge, Gleyber Torres. Those were the next group of core guys that I didn't expect for another 2 years or so. Yeah. I knew they would be good. I didn't think it would be I mean, they're very easily could win a World Series this year. Very easily.
For sure.
And I wouldn't be
we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll get to that part in a minute. But
we'll get to that.
They very easily could, for sure.
Yeah, very easily could. So there you go. So we both did pick our East teams. Let me see a couple things in the chat here real fast. Russ says, and I'm going to pull this up on the chat if I can find it. He said, I've been watching kids football all day from out my window. The school football field is on the other side of the fence, and I can see all the games from my bedroom first day of games. That's great. Actually, it is a good time of the year for that kind of stuff when it comes to fall sports. If you're into fall sports, we're right there now for sure. Mm-hmm. We are definitely there. Noah says the Yankees are up 8-1. Go Yankees. It's very easy to be a Yankees fan.
I was a Yankees fan, but since I knew what Dodgers and Yankees have been my team since I knew what baseball was. So
I can't say that.
In the good and the bad times. There's just a whole lot more.
Well, I was going to say it's going to be a lot more good times.
There's a lot more good times than
bad times. You might have had a 5-year stretch where the Yankees were meh, but even then, they've never been horrendous.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Never.
Sure.
It just doesn't happen. Yep. And Phantasm Chronicles makes a really good point. Indians went 93-69 and didn't get a wild
That's crazy. They were 2 wins shy of what I predicted them to be at, and I cannot believe they didn't make the playoffs. But
yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, they won 3 more than I thought. I thought they were going to get to 90.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not. What I didn't do, and we're going to talk about it right now, the Central. Let's talk about the Central. Who did you pick to win the Central, Steve?
Well, before you do that, though, I would like to remiss back on the bottom of the division of the AL East.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Because I got ripped for my prediction of where the Orioles would finish at 53-109, and they finished at 54-108. So I did short them by a game. But what I really wanted to talk about was across that whole division, the worst, like if you take first place, second place, third place, fourth place, fifth place, the most games I'm off by any of those positions is 4. I just had 2 teams switched around. I had the Red Sox ahead of the Rays, and it was backwards. But that was the best division I picked throughout all of them. Was again only 4 off of every single win-loss record there.
Good, very good. Yeah. See, I don't have what the other teams finished at. I just flip-flopped the Rays and Tampa. And other than that, I knew Toronto and Baltimore were going to be at the bottom. I expected the Orioles to win 62. Hey, I'll be honest with you. They won 7 more than they won last year.
And they weren't last. So they were not the worst team in baseball. So that's good.
And what's really sad is when you look at the Orioles, and I know nobody knows who this person is, but you had a guy in Trey Mancini for the Orioles who had 35 home runs, 96 RBIs, and batted .294.
Yep.
For a team that lost over 100 games, that's pretty darn good, man. Yep. Those are good numbers. I don't care how you can't, numbers are numbers. He's a very good player, which means he won't be on the team.
Yeah, for sure.
They're going to trade him for prospects. Sure. Let me say hi to Christy's Corner. Welcome in, Christy. Welcome in. Rachel's here. Rachel Susik. Welcome in, Rachel. I hope you're doing well. Rachel says she got first place in bocce ball.
Congratulations, Rachel.
Rachel, that's awesome. Good job.
And my dog is sleeping. Sorry, he's in the other room.
Good for him. That's so funny. But Steve, you did really good. You did really well predicting. I don't know what Tampa finished with. Did they win 90 games?
They won. Where'd they go? Tampa. Oops, it's American National League. Tampa wound up 96-66.
Yeah. See, I didn't expect that at all. That's the one where I was way off.
Yep.
So, but absolutely agreed. Very, very good. So let's move on to the Central, and we can go down that as well if you want in just a second here. And hang in there, everybody. We definitely appreciate you. We are going to talk some Disney talking a little bit. Yes, everyone, if you could please hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. I actually got 19 likes, so that's great.
Nice.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But let's talk about the Central for a minute, because this is the one where, again, I think we were pretty close with the bottom stuff. I didn't think Detroit was going to be as bad as they were.
Yeah, I gave them a whole lot more credit than they were. So
yeah, me too. I knew they were going to be bad. I just didn't think they were going to be that bad, and they were that bad. They were that bad. But who did you have winning the division?
So I originally had put the Twins winning the division, and I marked it out and changed the record, and I put Cleveland over them by 2 games. And I had Cleveland winning 95 games and the Twins winning 93. But Cleveland won 93 and the Twins won 101. Now, of that 101, they won 8 of their last 10 to get them quite a bit bigger boost. But yeah, it was those. I had those teams flip-flop by a few games. But I guess I kind of follow the Twins a little more because I have a buddy that's from Minnesota. So I don't know. I felt like I knew more about them than most of the other teams, so I gave them a little bit more credit, but I didn't think they would win 101 games. Yeah,
me too. I flipped the 2 teams. I had Cleveland first, Minnesota second, but I was nowhere near on Minnesota's amount of wins. I had them actually under 500. I still don't.
Oh, wow.
Think, I don't think that they ultimately are a long-term successful team. Sometimes
yeah,
have a couple good years here and there. I just don't see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I just don't think the core is there for long-term success.
no, they're in an exceptional year. It'll be a anomaly, but I think they'll still be okay. But they won't win 101 games again anytime soon.
No, I don't think so either. But I did not have Minnesota making the playoffs at all, and it looks like they're going to get bounced very quickly. Anyway.
Yeah, but they're not now. They're still pretty good. Don't get me wrong. They're just playing a very dominant Yankees team right now. And
but what's funny is the Yankees only won 2 more games than them.
They did, but what I was going to say is they benefited that 101 wins by getting to play the Royals and the Tigers multiple times.
Yeah, well, the Yankees got to play the Orioles in Toronto multiple times.
Yeah, but between Toronto and Baltimore, they have 15 more wins between the two of them than the Royals and the Tigers have too. So
I guess I don't know. I trust me.
It's true.
Both teams fed on some bad teams. Let me tell you right now.
They did.
Oh my gosh, for sure. But I did not get this one right at all. Which is not a surprise. I don't know. I just didn't think
you weren't that far off.
Good.
I mean, well, but by Minnesota having lower than 500, that was way off. But you were close on your order, and again, I did okay. I had the biggest one I missed was I had the Tigers in last place, but I had them winning 63 games. They only won 47. So the rest of my records are pretty decent, pretty close to each other, and again. I had the Twins. I changed it because I thought Cleveland was going to be better, but Cleveland only won 2 games fewer than I thought they would. Just Minnesota kicked it in.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. So there you go. So that was one of them. Now, if I'm not mistaken, let's go back for a second because in the East, one of the wild card teams came out of the East. Correct?
Tampa Bay, yeah.
Yes, and Tampa Bay did not make my wild card. Did they make yours? Mine was coming out of the East, but I thought it would be Boston.
I did too. I put Boston as well because I had Boston finishing 6 games ahead of them.
Yeah.
So It did come out. I had the right. Again, I had the right division too, East, and but it was not them. I had Boston as well.
Right. Exactly, and I was the same way. I thought it was going to be Boston, not Tampa. Boston really underperformed this year. Really, really.
I didn't think they would be very good, but I gave them a lot more credit than if you look at my list here, I've marked out their win total 4 times and just kept lowering their win total because I didn't think they were going to be very good. But I wound up giving them credit for reputation.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. So we both picked Cleveland, but Minnesota got the win. In that division. So 2 division winners so far, and we got one of the wild cards out of the way. Mm-hmm. So we've got 3 of the 5 teams in the American League for playoffs. So far, we're 2 for 3, right?
Yep.
No. I'm not. I'm 1 for 3.
Yeah, well, yeah, 1 for 3, but 1 for 3.
Right, because I didn't pick Boston and I didn't pick Minnesota.
Yep.
But the next one is actually where I did do well in the next division.
This was my worst division. Well. This was my worst division of all of them.
Okay, and this was probably the one I did the best in because I picked Houston to win the division.
As did I.
Yep, and we both got that right. But I actually did pick Oakland to get the second wild card.
I did not.
Yeah, I did. So and they did. They got the wild card.
If you take Oakland and Seattle and flip-flop them on my list, then I did quite well in this division. I don't know. I messed up Seattle and Oakland bad. I thought Oakland would do the worst. I thought Seattle was going to win the wild card, and they are close on my projections for records, like within 3 games on one and 6 on the other. But I got the teams completely backwards.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's I actually thought I picked Oakland to win 86 games. So, there you go. That's yeah. You were saying?
I had Seattle winning 90, or 91. And Oakland 197. If I'd flipped Oakland and Seattle, I would have done quite well.
There you go. Yep. So that was the 5 teams that make it: Houston, Minnesota, New York, wild cards Tampa, and Oakland. And of course, right now playoffs are still going on, so it's hard to really say whether or not our LCSs are lining up. I still have a shot at my LCS. I think you do too.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So My LCS, I'll just tell you, is the Yankees versus Houston. So
mine as well.
Yep. So they're both still there. So there you go. That's our American League. Not too bad. I got 3 out of the 5.
I think I'm more impressed with how close my records were than which teams made it in. Because going through there, the only one that's really glaringly bad was Detroit. I gave them way more credit than I thought they would. So
I'll have to look at mine. I didn't look at that side of it. Isn't that terrible?
Nah, that's not bad.
I didn't look at that part of it, but I will definitely look at that a little bit later to see how I did exactly when it comes to wins and losses. But let's move on to the National League for a second. We'll start again in the East. And this is the one where I really fell on my face because I don't know. I just didn't think Atlanta was that good. I just didn't. I had them. I had them in 4th place.
So I had
them with a winning record. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But I didn't have them. I didn't have them being where they were.
I had all 4 teams that finished on top of that division, 1 game behind each other, all the way down. 88, 87, 86, and 85 wins. They finished with 97, 93, 86, and 81 wins. So very, very close. But I did mess up the order. I had Mets, Phillies, Braves, Nationals. Again, 4th place only being 3 games behind 1st place. But I still got the order wrong.
Right. And I had Phillies, Nationals. I had Phillies. Yeah, Phillies, Nationals, Mets, Atlanta. So I've really had Atlanta pegged wrong.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Rob Fuzz is in the house. Everybody say hi to Rob Fuzz. Rob, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. But, I really thought that first year for Bryce Harper, he was going to take this honeymoon with Philadelphia and really just kind of, I don't know, I just really thought they were going to do well, but it didn't work out that way, for sure.
Yeah, and again, going back to record-wise, even the Marlins in last place, I picked them at 56 wins. They won 57. 3rd place, Mets were 86, 76. That's what I had my 3rd place, but then they weren't too far away. I had 87 and 88 wins, and it was 93 and 97. That top one got a little off, but just which order I went to put. I remember picking those that day, and I picked all 4 of them within 1 game of each other. I was like, I don't know which way to go, and I didn't, but I picked wrong.
Yep. Now the other thing too is you had Atlanta win the division.
Yep.
And the Nationals actually were one of the 2 teams that claimed the wild card.
Yep. They won 9 of their last 10 games to do that.
Yep. And hey, they did it at the right time.
It's all that matters. And they're playing well. That's the only thing that kind of scares me a little bit in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're playing well right now, but they have what helps the Nationals. Look, I don't care who you are, pitching wins.
Oh, for sure. And
they have pitching.
Yeah, they do.
They have really good pitching. That's why the series with the Dodgers is such a great series. And you're right. That's why I said it'll go 5. Because in my opinion, this series could go either way because both teams, it's going to be about who hits better, in my opinion. Because they're both going to pitch well. It's the ones that can find a way to hit just a little bit better than the other.
Yeah. Well, hands down, the Nationals and the Dodgers have the best pitching, maybe in baseball. I think Houston's got pretty good pitching, but besides them, at least in the National League, nobody else can touch the Dodgers or the Nationals pitching. This is not going to happen. Dodgers have a better offense, but they didn't show it last night, so that's going to make a difference as to how it all plays out. What's up, AJ?
It's not even so much that. It's not that I think it's a matter of sometimes it's not that the offense is not playing well. They're just pitching well. Look, good hitting. Good pitching beats good hitting every time.
Well,
it does.
Okay, look, you're in baseball. I've played baseball a lot, and
me too.
If you weren't swinging for the fences, you could make contact with the ball most of the time, and professional guys make contact most of the time. The Dodgers struck out, 21 times last night in 9 innings out of 27 at bats. So they just played poorly. And the runs that they gave up to the Nationals should have been the first pitch of the game went right by Justin Turner, and he went to backhand snap it off, and it went under his glove. Just things like that you start off like that. And then when Kershaw was up pitching, somebody got a hit, then he walked a guy, then he hit a guy, then another guy dribbled one through. I don't remember. The guy was pulled over for a double play. It just bad luck stringing together or good luck, depending on which team you're on, stringing together what you have to do to score to produce runs. They bunted four or five times last night. Two of them were base hits. The Nationals did.
Right.
So, I mean, whatever you got to do to get on base. I mean, to me, yeah, I don't think their offense is going to compete with the Dodgers, and I think it's going to come down to who does better on the offense. Even though they both got stellar pitching, you can still make contact with the bat and the ball. So
right, but remember, and hey, Dean, want to say hi to Dean? There he is, Dreamers Empire. I agree with you, but that being said, even in baseball, the greatest hitter of all time when it comes to batting average failed 66% of the time.
Yeah,
he's a 364 lifetime hitter. So that means he got on base 36% of the time.
Yeah,
that's it. The other 64% he got out.
Yep.
So even though you make contact, making contact helps you. You're right, but ultimately it's still you're fighting a losing battle on the offensive side. You know, the pitchers have the advantage, and if you have great pitching, it's more of an advantage.
Yeah,
and sometimes you have nights like that.
And the worst part about it was the Dodgers couldn't. I mean, last night especially, they couldn't string anything together. So they would get a leadoff double and then not even move him. Or then in the ninth inning, they got a leadoff double and they got a leadoff and got bases loaded, and a guy swung at a pitch that may have landed in the batter's box next to him for strike three on a full count. That's a run and a less out. I mean, that puts them within one run. Dodgers should have won that game last night. I know it didn't look that way for some people. They gave up the opportunities to win that baseball game numerous times throughout the game.
Sure, and that happens a lot.
Yep, I honestly,
there's a lot of times that happens.
I did not count on them to do that in this series. That's why I think they'll win in 4, and I still think they'll win in 4.
Oh, it's going to be a great series. I say 5. I think this is going 5, and I'll be honest with you, I won't pick a winner because I think the Dodgers will win, but if Scherzer, Strasburg keep doing what they're doing, they're going to make it tough. That's all.
They'll make it tough. I think. I don't think it'll be as close as you do, but we'll see.
Yeah. It's 1-1 right now, heading back to Washington, right?
Yep.
For tomorrow night.
Yep.
Cool. Very nice. So there you go. So we did pick. No, neither one of us picked the winner of the East, correct? Nope. Absolutely.
No, we did not.
We didn't get the wild card either, did we?
No.
No, me either. Oh my gosh. Well,
I didn't even pick it out of that division.
What? Either one of them?
No, I had them all beaten up on each other so close together that I didn't pick the wild card coming from that division.
Yeah, I agree. Me too. Now in the Central, I actually did pick this one. I picked St. Louis to win the division, and they won the division. That was the one I can actually say I got. Well, that one and the next one, but I mean this one I got right. I picked St. Louis to win it, but I actually thought one of the wild cards was going to come out of the Central, and
it did.
It did, but it wasn't the team I thought.
Yeah.
How'd you do there?
I actually picked Milwaukee to win the division, so I had that. They made the playoffs, but they didn't win the division. And then I had the Cardinals and Cubs right there together, but I think I put the Cubs in, and they didn't make it. It was the Cardinals that won the division instead. Right,
and I had one of the two as well. I had the Cardinals winning the division, which happened, but I had the Cubs taking the wild card, and they didn't. Milwaukee did.
Yep.
Yeah, Milwaukee. I figured Milwaukee would be right there, but I just didn't think that they would do what they did. And I actually was kind of hoping Milwaukee was going to beat the Nationals because I really would like to see Milwaukee. They haven't won anything since '82.
I agree, man. I was hoping for Milwaukee too because I think the Dodgers would have slaughtered them. Because they didn't have pitching or hitting. Because they're my pick for the MVP is never mind. I did pick. Never mind. He was on my list, but I didn't pick. Yelich is out for the season, so
right. Yeah, I agree. And then let's head over to the West. And obviously, I think this was kind of a no-brainer from the very beginning of the season. We all knew it. Hey, there's Preston.
Hey, Preston, what's up, buddy?
Good to see you, buddy. Houston Astros.
Houston
or the Tampa Bay Rays. Oh, I think Houston, Preston. I think and then to be honest with you, I think Houston could win in 3.
I do too.
I do. I really do. I think Houston is really good. Compared
to the Rays. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. So out west, of course, obviously we both have the Dodgers winning the division.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, easily.
By a long shot. I mean, even though I didn't have the Dodgers winning 100, I still had them winning the division by 8 games. So
yeah, I had them winning by 14.
Yep. So
they won by 21. So
right. Well, exactly. Right. I mean, they really played well. Did anybody else even finish over 500?
Yeah, Diamondbacks finished at 85 and 77.
Okay, so barely, but they did. I mean, they were 4 games over 500.
Well, they were technically 8 games above 500, but if they would have lost those 4, they would have finished at 500. Yeah.
I don't know why they call that 8 games over 500. It's technically 4.
Well, because technically speaking, if they have this record, it would take them 8 more games to get to 500. They'd have to lose 8 in a row to get down to 500.
I guess. See, I don't look at it like that. I just look at it like you had 4 more wins. If they would have been losses, you would have been at 500.
Yeah.
But I guess that's right. Okay. But yeah, we both picked that, but I did not pick. I didn't pick the wild card. From this division, obviously. Well, no, I'm sorry, I did. I thought Colorado would come out of here.
So did I. I picked them in second as well.
Yep. I just didn't think, and they did not show up at all.
And Disney Fanatic, we'll get to that in just a minute.
He says, without being biased, don't you really think that Acuna Jr. or Yelich should win the MVP over Bellinger?
Neither, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
And they are more valuable to their teams. Okay.
Well, Yelich isn't valuable to anybody right now because he's missed half the season, so there's no way he would win the MVP ever. But we'll get to that in a minute.
Disney Fanatic, I say Belly is going to win because Yelich is hurt. Yep, that makes sense. But, yeah, so there you go. I definitely did not do well in the National League at all. I only picked, really, to be honest with you, 2 teams. St. Louis and L.A. The other 3 I didn't have. At all. But you said you wanted to touch on something. What else did we want to touch on?
Well, do you want to talk about what we think is going to happen in the rest of the playoffs?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sure. So you want to go back to the
American League? What's that?
You want to go back to the American League or National League?
Yeah, I'll just say my Final Four. My Final Four is the Yankees and the Astros, which is looking very promising. In the National League, it was the Dodgers, and I had the Brewers. Same division because I think St. Louis is going to run away with that against the Braves as well. So I would have, I got the right division, just got the wrong team there. But 3 of the 4 I think will be the Final Four. I have the Dodgers and the Yankees, which is going to shock some people, but I really think that's going to be the matchup. I think the Yankees are going to stun Houston, and then I do think that the Dodgers are going to win the World Series still. So that's what I predicted at the beginning. That's still what I think is going to happen.
Yep. And my Final Four were the Yankees in Houston and the Dodgers in St. Louis. So I actually still have all 4 alive.
And I think those will be the Final Four. I had Milwaukee instead of St. Louis.
Yeah, I had St. Louis against the Dodgers. I had Houston versus New York. So even though I didn't get all the right teams in, the ones I did get in are still alive, which is good. I actually have Houston versus L.A. I think Houston gets past the Yankees. I believe when it comes down to experience, when both teams are loaded, I think experience means a lot. I give the edge to Houston. I think they beat the Yankees in 7.
I think it also goes 7. And I picked the Yankees because back then I thought the Yankees would finish with home field advantage. With Astros having home field advantage over the Yankees this time, it might change things, but I'm still going to go I'm just going to stay with Houston or with New York.
Sure. And then in the National League, I just think that right now, unless Washington pulls a stunner, because that's the only team that I think really has the legitimate chance.
I would agree 100%.
I think that they play. I think they play St. Louis, and I think they beat St. Louis in 5.
That's what I have. St. Louis beating them in 5. I had them beating the Brewers in 5, but I would agree with St. Louis too. Yeah. No, I think St. Louis goes down to the LA in 5 in the LCS. Yep.
Yeah, so that's just my opinion. Preston says, Steve, Mousetalk, do you think that the Dodgers and Yankees would be the World Series? No, I don't. Steve does.
I do. He has Houston.
I have Houston and the Dodgers.
Yep.
But that's just me. But you never know. This is my type of talking. Preston says this is right up his alley. Hey, Andrea Houston, welcome in. Disney Fanatic says, I think the Astros are going to win the World Series with the Dodgers losing the World Series for 3 straight years. With that, Dave Roberts will be fired for his postseason record. You know what? Here's what I'll say to that. If that happens, I don't see Dave Roberts getting fired because he's taken his team to 3 straight World Series. There's something to be said for that. Marv Levy didn't get fired for 4 straight Super Bowl losses. Yep. He's actually in the Hall of Fame because of it. So I don't know about that, Disney fanatic. I mean, look, I've always said this, and I say it to Steve all the time. You play the game to win.
Yep.
The ultimate goal is to win the World Series. It means a lot to win the Super Bowl, to win the Stanley Cup, whatever it might be. That's why you play. Being said, getting there means a lot. He is winning championships because if you get to the World Series, that means you've won the pennant.
Mm-hmm.
So it does mean a lot. And again, I'm strictly I have no dog in the race here, none. So I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. I want to say hi to Dave Houston. Welcome into. You know what, Dave? That's one of the biggest parts of any team is a bullpen. A bullpen can make or break you.
Yep, what he put there with the bullpen is the exact reason why I think the Yankees will be playing the Dodgers.
Yep, and see, that's why I still say Houston, because I think Houston's got a very good bullpen. I do. Their bullpen.
They're not bad by any means. I just think the Yankees. I just think the Yankees are deeper.
No, I do. I agree with that. It's not that I don't think they're deeper. They are, but you just never know with bullpens, man. You just never know. Some teams. Look, I've seen teams that had great bullpens one year. They came back the next year with the same guys, and they were terrible.
Yep.
It's not as much of a black and white science as people think. It can be very volatile. Disney Fanatic says, I think the records. I believe that records is something, but success and results mean more. There have been many managers that have been fired after not being able to win the big one. Well, yeah, but you know what? Actually, you know what, Steve? I want you to touch on that.
When
it comes to baseball, if you're making playoffs and you're making championships or at least championship seasons, when was the last time you saw a manager get fired because he didn't win a World Series, but he was in it?
Doesn't happen often. And here's the deal. You can say they didn't win the big one, but if you're the second best team in a sport consistently every single year, that's something to be said. Whether you win the big one or not, only one team can win. So what if you're the team that wins and the other team's the one that you're going to fire the other guy for losing? I don't think that should be it. That being said, I do not like David Roberts, and it's not because of his inability to win the World Series, because
of that stolen base against your Yankees. That's what it is.
Yeah, we're not going to go there. But I just don't think he's right for the players. I don't think he's a energetic manager. I don't think he's I didn't like the choice. There were better choices out there, and I guess I'm bitter about that. There was better choices. When you go from people like Don Mattingly and you go Joe Torre, and then you go to Dave Roberts, it's a step down. His talent is giving him wins, don't get me wrong, and he's doing a good job with the talent he has, but he did make the mistake and cost them the World Series against Houston, and he did make the mistakes to cost them the World Series against Boston. Yu Darvish should have never ever pitched against Houston in the game 7. And when he started getting tagged in the first inning, he should have been yanked immediately, and he stuck with them because of the whole racial issue that happened with Houston making fun of Yu Darvish that year. He wanted to prove a point, and his pride got ahead of him, and he should have never done that. Now, that's not grounds for firing, in my opinion. That's just, he's a good manager to get him there, and he makes a lot of plays. It's just not he's not my cup of tea. I don't think he's good for them.
Sure. That makes sense. Preston says 1958 Dodgers coach got fired for not winning the World Series 8 years in a row. Look, I'm not saying it hasn't happened. What I'm saying is it's not a regular occurrence. And if we got to go back to 1958 to find one, I think that's my point.
and I know Disney Fanatics is hammering on it, but look, if a guy takes him to the World Series 3 years in a row, that would be, if he got fired because he didn't win the last one, that's downright wrong. And that would be a disgrace to baseball if that happened. There should be no pressure on a guy that takes you to a championship every single year.
Yeah, I agree.
Or that wins whatever number 11 titles in a row in their division. That's not fire-worthy. And if they do that, that'd be a disgrace to baseball.
Well, Bobby Cox took the Atlanta Braves to 14 straight division titles and won one championship in that time.
Yep.
One.
Yep. But he was there all 14 years.
Yeah, he didn't go anywhere.
Nope. It doesn't. Look, only one team can win a year. That means 30 whatever teams are going to be disappointed.
Here's the other thing, and it's so hard to repeat in baseball. It just is.
Yeah.
It is extremely. You're playing 162 games, so you've got to be on your game for 162 games. You could win, like Cleveland. They won 93 games, and they didn't make the playoffs. It's really hard in baseball to win. So to say he got back to 3 straight World Series, no, he didn't win, there's something to be said for that. I can't fire a guy for that.
No,
but I could be wrong. You never know.
Definitely not.
But we'll see. We'll have to see. But yep, it's going to be fun the rest of the way. We all pretty much have our Steve and I both pretty much have our teams left to go. It's going to be interesting. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen. Preston said I say that if Dave Roberts gets fired, Belly will go on as free agent, but that is my opinion.
I think he's solidified in LA pretty well. I don't think a managerial change would cause him to leave. It depends on who they bring in. They brought in somebody worse than him, which I think he's
Bellinger a free agent at the end of the year.
I can't remember.
Okay,
because I don't remember.
Look, I'll say this: almost every single player, no matter who they are, and again, I could be wrong, but I think history shows it. The player is going to go where the money is.
Unfortunately, that is true.
And if the Dodgers offer him $200 million, $250 million, but the Red Sox offer him $350 million, he's going to the Red Sox.
Yep.
End of story. Sorry. It just is. It's the way it is. Even if the Red Sox offer just $300 million, just a little bit more, he's going to the Red Sox. Manny Machado went to the San Diego Padres of all teams. And look where he finished. It's about the money.
Yep.
Sorry, it is. I love players, but you know what? Most of them are going to look at it as a business.
Oh, yeah.
For
sure.
But, that's just the way it is. GM has something to do with that, not getting the talent that the team needs. Dave, here's my problem with that statement. I get what you're saying, but not all teams have the cash flow that other teams have. They just don't. I'm sorry. They just don't have that. So a GM can't go out. Look, the GM is only as good as the people around him. He has scouts. He has this guy, that guy to help him to find the talent. He's not going to all these towns and seeing all these players. That's why they rely on the scouts. But you're right. Ultimately, it's about either getting them through the draft and developing them or going out and getting free agents. Some teams have to take the draft and talent development. Other teams can do it via free agency. But you're right. The GM does have something to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's sad that a manager, as long as he gets to the championship multiple years in a row, he stays. But in the NFL, a coach can get fired after making postseason 6 to 8 years in a row. Different sport. Sorry. I understand, Disney Fanatic. I get what you're saying. And Steve, if you want to touch on this, please do. I get what you're saying. Totally different sport. Totally different expectations.
I would agree with that, but I still think it's a disgrace. Now, and a lot of those times too, we're talking about isolated instances too. You don't know what goes on behind the clubhouse doors, and you don't know if there's already problems with the GM or if the players hate the guy they're playing for. Even though they may win, because they're always going to try to win, nobody's going to go out there and lose intentionally. Even though they may be winning, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. There's more to that job than every day on the field coaching. There's a whole lot more to that job. So it's just a matter of what goes on across the whole embodiment of the work.
Right. Preston, we're only on till 9 tonight. Thank you for all the talk in the background. Chat's been really good tonight with questions. I love it. Disney Fanatic says, side topic, do you guys think that the Red Sox will lose Mookie Betts? No, I don't. Because,
I wish they would, but
no, they won't. They won't because they can pay him.
Yep.
And he enjoys being there. They are one of the teams that has what it takes money-wise to keep a player. Simple. End of story. It's that simple. And they'll want him to stay. He is the next. Look, Pedroia is at the end. He's done.
Yep.
His time is over. Ortiz is gone. Who's the face of the Boston Red Sox? It's Mookie Betts. He's their next Dustin Pedroia. He is. That's their guy. That's the guy they want on all the posters. They'll pay him. He'll stay. Steve, what do you think?
They would be insane not to. They would turn into a complete rebuilding team if they lost him, and that would not bode well for them at all.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that somebody else won't offer him more money and pull him, but if they don't keep him or they don't, and you never know because now they lost their general manager,
right?
You don't know what he's going to do coming in either. They may clash with him and say, you know what, I got a better idea. We could rebuild this team with, some whatever that movie was that just came out with Brad Pitt, Moneyball.
Right.
Was that the one where he took over a team and just used stats and things to put them together? I know that's a once in a lifetime thing, but it's not always about paying the biggest guys the biggest money. Look what happened to San Diego. I mean, they're terrible, and they got Machado.
Right, and same thing. Just like, how did chasing the money work for Bryce Harper this year? Well, it worked great for Bryce Harper because guess what? He still made $330 million.
Yep, and he's in the playoffs.
No, he wasn't. No,
no, that's right. That's right. He left. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he left.
I'm thinking the Nationals. That's right.
No, he did. No, he didn't make the playoffs. But you know what?
No, but
he still made $330 million.
That's one of the teams. I mean, they finished at 500. They were in that group of 4 that could have gone any way. So he could have.
And I can promise you that next year the Phillies will be better.
They're for sure.
Continue to get better.
You don't always make the decision for 1 year. You make it for long term.
Right. It's a long term decision. Right. I agree. I don't say the Red Sox will get to Bellinger. I say Bellinger will go with the team that will put him where he wants to be. And the Red Sox, well, I guess the precedent depends on what you mean by that. My opinion is first off, I don't think he's going to make the dumb decision that Machado made. I think he's going to go where the money is. But if the Orioles, let's just use it. Let's say the Orioles offered him $300 million, but the Red Sox offered him $260. He's going to the Red Sox.
Yeah, it matters where. Money plays a big factor into it, but the guys care more about winning, at least getting a championship, more than they do about money.
Oh, I don't agree with. I think they care about the money first.
I think there's no way that I mean, trust me, if you paid me $100 million to sit the bench, I'd do it. But I'm not. I mean, I don't know. I can't fathom that because I've turned down less money in my real life to go to a job I would like a lot better than one that I wouldn't, just because I thought I'd be more successful. In my opinion, success plays a big factor here.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely does. It definitely does. And Disney Fanatic, well, we totally get that. You're exactly right. Comparing the different sports react differently to their managers. But even in football, somebody give me an example of a head coach that took his team to multiple Super Bowls in a row.
I only know one.
In a row that got fired for it.
There's one or two, I can't remember which one it was, 1 or 2 coaches in the history of the NFL that got fired for absolute ridiculousness. And that was, it wasn't was it Schottenheimer? Or was it
Schottenheimer never made it to a Super Bowl.
But the guy was 13-3 and got fired. That's ridiculous. Wasn't it him or was it with the other one? The Denver coach was Mike
Shanahan?
Shanahan. Maybe it was Shanahan. Right. One of them went 13-3 and got fired. That's incredibly insane.
Oh, I can tell you one. I can tell you. Well, he didn't really get fired. He quit, but he was basically fired.
Well, they told him he was going to. Who was it?
Jimmy Johnson.
Well, yeah, Jimmy Johnson too, but that was again.
Jimmy Johnson's one of the greatest.
Again, behind the scenes, you're talking about Jerry Jones.
Right, exactly.
That's a whole different situation.
Right, I agree.
It was okay. It was Marty. He went 13-3 at the Chargers and got fired. That was ludicrous.
Right.
That's one of those sad days that never should have happened.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So there you go. Cool. I say the baseball players are more greedy because they don't care about the game. They care about the money. I think they all care about the money. Don't get me wrong. I think they all care about the game too, but I think they all care about the money.
I think,
right.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, go ahead.
In all, they want the proper balance of winning. There's guys that everybody wants a ring or whatever they get. Everybody wants one, but they also want to get paid.
Yeah, they all want to get paid. I can promise you that. Don't get me wrong. I know they all say they want to win, but if somebody doesn't win a championship, but they're walking out of there with $400 million.
Yep.
They're still going to be able to sleep at night in a really nice bed in a really nice house.
Yep.
But you know what? Before we head out, guys, I do want to talk a little bit about Disney. I want to do some Disney talk really, really fast. Now, Steve, of course, I don't know where we talked, if we talked at all last week about Disney.
I don't think we did. I think we got into whatever we were into, and it ran long.
Okay. But I did want to talk a little bit about, did we talk Skyliner at all? I can't remember.
I've talked about the Skyliner, but I don't know if it was here.
Okay. All right. Well,
I can't remember.
Right. No, I don't think that you and I have. I like what I've seen so far of the Skyliner. What I don't like about it is the ones that actually have the wraps.
So I love the wraps, but here's my problem with it. I thought it was like the tint that you put in your back window of a big truck, your big pickup truck, where you can't see in, but you can see out.
Right.
That is not the case. It's a solid wrap. Yep.
Other way around.
So that does change my opinion on them pretty bad. They got a bunch of pinholes that you're supposed to look out of. But and I'll be honest, I've seen people with cameras inside those wraps. You can still see out, but it's not the same.
It's not clear.
So I thought I think they need to do one of two things: either lower the wrap to the bottom half so that people can still see out, or you replace it with the tint that you can see through.
Right. Well, you know what? Here's the thing, and I want to say hi to Tina McNeil, who just got here. Hey, Tina, thank you for being here. I have no problem with the wraps. I'm glad that some of them are now not wrapped. At first, I was really upset that they all weren't wrapped. But if they're going to look like that on the inside, I'm kind of glad they're not.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping for in the future is I'm hoping for enhancements on these gondolas. And what I mean by that is audio enhancements.
Yeah.
On the inside, where like if you're in the Haunted Mansion one, when the person comes over to the intercom, it's the ghost host instead of the lady.
That's a point. I mean, you got a good point there, but at the same time, I think some people love the fact that it's so peaceful and it's just gorgeous view. If you pumped, number one, it would be expensive to pump in the audio. But you look at things like the monorail, it doesn't have music playing. You look at the buses, they don't have music playing. None of that stuff has any of it anyways. Yeah, it would be nice occasionally, but there are people that just want to relax and enjoy the scenery and do all that. And if they're constantly pumping in music, I could see both ways how it can be annoying.
I don't want music. I don't want music.
Or sound. I mean, there's people that just like the peaceful nature of just riding quietly.
Yeah, no, what I like is like when the lady comes on and says, "We are now entering the Riviera Resort. You can exit here or you can stay on." They could do that with the ghost host.
Oh, change voices, you mean? I got you.
That's what I'm talking about. Just that, intermittent time when the lady comes over the intercom. It's not got to be something that's constant. That's all.
I get that. And I was thinking, too, the wraps, they may be that way for heat control, too. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. I bet those things reflect the reason why they're so thick and you can't see through them. I bet they reflect heat, and that's one of the things that helps keep it cool.
Absolutely. Very much could be. Yep. Russ says they could use a different vinyl that has smaller dots for the graphics. We make them at my shop. They're much easier to see through. Yeah, could.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. Michael Riley, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. Kay says, I understand that the naked eye sees fine, but the cameras can't focus. Okay, maybe that's what it is. And do you know, Steve?
I think so, because I've seen the streams on camera that I could see through them. So I know they're not solid. I've seen people want that wide open, clear view and it is gorgeous, but you can see out both sides. It's still, here's my biggest problem, I guess, because it's not, or it's only on one side, I guess it is. As you're driving forward and backwards, you want to see the car in front of you, the car behind you, but that's not where the scenery is at. All you're seeing there is track. So looking out those big open clear windows off the side, that's where you should be looking anyways, and they're all unwrapped on that side. But I don't know. I can see both ways, but I have to ride them in person to really get a good handle for it.
Yeah, that's me too. I want to see it in person, more than anything else, to be able to decide for myself how much of an effect the wrap really is on the view. Because like everyone's been saying in the chat, and I agree 100%, I'm on this thing for the views. That's what I want to be on them for, because I'm afraid of heights, first off.
Yeah.
So it's certainly not for the fact that I want to, for the pleasure of just being on it. But I do like the idea of a beautiful view. I want to say hi to Rockin' Robin. Welcome in, Robin. Good to see you. She says, I said it before, I'll say it again. The wraps may help people with height issues on Skyline. Oh,
that's a good point, too.
Yep.
I know there's a really, really good couple of reasons why they did it that way. but they're not going to tell us why.
What do you think?
I agree with that comment there, and I also think it's some kind of heat control as well. But by doing that and then leaving the ends open, they thought, oh, well, nobody's going to look out the directions we're going because that's just another Skyliner in front of them. Mm-hmm. They're going to look out the sides where you can see the scenery out both ways. And I think that's their philosophy. I don't know. I could be completely wrong.
Right. But Russ, I get what you're saying. I bet they cared more about being able to see the graphics on the ground and making them more clear and not as much about how much you can see through it. Here's my thing. Disney is all about trying to bring, what's magic. The word I'm looking for, Steve?
The magic.
The magic, yes. I mean, you're starting to see it on the buses. You see it on the minivans. They're dressed like Minnie Mouse. The buses now have the wraps on them. The monorails have wraps on them. They put wraps on monorails. They've been doing that for years.
Yep.
It's all part of the IP process. It's what they do. I personally don't mind it. I absolutely am in love with the new buses personally.
Yep.
And, Preston McDevitt, thank you so much. Preston with the $4.99 super chat. He says, thank you for the great stream tonight. It was very nice talking baseball with some good friends. Go Astros. Preston,
it was good up to that last part there, Preston. But
thanks, Preston, pal. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you for that so much. Everybody, please thank Preston in the chat. He's a great kid, and we're definitely glad to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. For sure. But I don't know. I love the wraps personally, and I do like the fact that we can see them on the outside. I actually think it I love it.
And he said, "Oh, and I forgot that Peas World's belt is plastic."
There you go. Good one, Preston, buddy. Russ says, "I love the new look and all the colors. Just makes it more fun and more Disney." I agree.
People were going nuts. People were going nuts about them until a couple of people got inside and said, "Oh, we really can't see out that direction." I mean, I think they're incredible.
I think they are too. I agree 100%. I'm not worried about the filming part. You know what? If I really want to film that bad, then I'll just wait for one that doesn't have the wrap.
Bingo.
It's that simple. Otherwise, I want to ride inside the one that's the Haunted Mansion.
Yep. And I think Disney may have thought that too. Like, look, at first people are going to be upset because they can't film out of it, but then you can just wait for one and just get on one and just take a nice ride. That's what they're for. I
agree 100%. And it's another wonderful way to get somewhere. Preston said he had to give you some crap sometime. He said it's been a while. But
thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you, Steve. 100%, buddy. I think they're fantastic. So there you go. All right, everybody. Well, we are coming up on 9:00. And I know that we have, I think Shep's going live at 9:30, right?
Yep.
Okay, yep. So be sure to check out the Shep family at 9:30. He's going to be going live talking about, do we know?
We don't ever know.
Okay, well.
Story time with Shep.
Talking about something.
Story time with Shep is what it's always called. We don't ever know.
All right, so they'll be talking something. And it'll be story time, so be sure to check him out. Again, a few things, mousekeeping real fast. We want to obviously say thanks to Dean over at the Live Place, theliveplace.com with family-friendly streams. He was on here a little bit earlier. So thank you to Dean. And, of course, our two partner channels, Steve from Steve's World, who's here. Steve, anything coming up for you, buddy?
Actually, I do. I filmed my 1,000 subscriber / 1,500 subscriber giveaway.
Yay.
So I'm going to try to drop that early Monday, maybe tomorrow if I get it edited, which I don't know. And then I'm getting ready to do an overhaul of all of this and change everything. So we'll see how it's going to go. And then I did put, I don't know if you saw it, I got to get one of these when I come out and see you, but I got a Corey Meets World shirt that autographed. And I kept thinking, I don't want to wear it because I don't want it to wash off. So I just framed it and I'll just buy another one. So I'm gonna try to redo it and get a bunch of shirts like this from my all my favorite YouTubers and put them across the wall. We'll see.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
I do. Sorry, one more. Are you? I don't know if you're in this one. No, you're not. We have the loop giveaway too that ends on October 10th. So you can go to Christie's Corner. Started it. I'm in it. There's 19 channels you can win. One winner wins all prizes from 19 different channels. So make sure you get entered in it. You can start on mine and then find the links. Everybody's got all the different channels listed there. You just got to go to each one of them, subscribe, like, and comment, and you'll be entered to win.
Very nice. Awesome. And of course, Dan, Disney Dan, goes live with Disney Fiascos, our other partner channel. Be sure to check him out. Again, for us, we do have our P.O. Box. If you'd like to send us any magic mail, you're more than welcome to. We do have T-shirts, just like that one. PayPal, things of that nature. If you'd like to help out the channel, it's always very, very appreciative, but never expected. I want to thank Preston for that incredible super chat earlier, buddy. Thank you so much for that. Thank you to my mods. Noah, thank you for all the links, buddy. I appreciate that. And then I think other than that, guys, I hope everybody really enjoyed tonight. I hope we had a good time. We do have a couple big ones coming up. Looking to try to get some people in here for the – we're going to talk college sports very, very soon. And I'm trying to get some people in here to talk about college athletes and whether or not they should or shouldn't be paid. It's important. I want to hear about it. And I want to have a forum, though, so we're looking for channels. So let us know if you're interested. We might be able to do that. You can send us a message on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Channels, what we're looking for is, if possible, but we're going to be doing that really soon. Right, Steve?
Yes, and I have opinions.
Yes, I do, too. No, but we want opinions from both sides. That's the whole point of this. It's never any fun if everybody's on the same page. I mean, it's great if we're all on the same page. But it's good to hear both sides. And
as long as we're in the majority, we'll make sure we have the majority for our views.
There's some truth to that.
Yeah, but no, we want to even split. So
yeah, absolutely. But thank you all very, very much. We really appreciate everybody being here. I know this is not always Disney Talk on Sports Night, and that's the point. We try to kind of venture out a little bit with this, and we really enjoy it, and we hope you all do too. But until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you all really, really soon. Bye, everybody.